Welcome to Trivia Quiz Rush. My name is Arno. I'm your mispronouncing quiz host, and if you enjoy testing your general knowledge, then you found the right quiz. This is a trivia quiz featuring lightning questions. See if you can keep up. Here's the first one. Good luck. What is the national flower of Japan? It's cherry blossom, also known as sakura. Podiatrists are medical specialists who treat which part of the body? That's feet. Who opened a box and released evils into the world? Correct with Pandora. Which type of dietary fat is widely considered to be heart healthy? That's unsaturated fat. A typical human pregnancy lasts approximately how many weeks in total? 40. Which hormone is responsible for lowering blood sugar levels in the body? It's insulin. What is the term used when one company acquires another company? That's acquisition. What is the name of an espresso drink diluted with hot water? Americano. Which muscle in the human body is responsible for causing hiccups? That's diaphragm. Which mythical creature has a lion's body and an eagle's head and wings? Griffin. What is the term for a company's obligation to repay its debts? It's liability. What term refers to a color that is made lighter by adding white? Tint. Which video game is famous for the phrase "finish him before a move"? Correct with Mortal Kombat. What is the recommended CPR chest compression rate per minute? That's 100 to 120. Which 1990s actress starred in multiple Aerosmith music videos? Alicia Silverstone. Which constellation is commonly referred to as the hunter in the night sky? It's Orion. What is the proper collective noun for a group of elephants together? That's herd. Which 1991 album brought Nirvana mainstream success? Never mind. Which famous character was created by writer Edgar Rice Burroughs? That's Tarzan. What type of radiation is mainly blocked by the Earth's ozone layer? Ultraviolet radiation. What's the term for the total value of goods and services a country produces? It's GDP, gross domestic product. Who is the artist that painted the famous work known as The Scream? Edvard Munch. Which human teeth are commonly referred to as third molars? Correct with wisdom teeth. Which mammal is known to have the longest gestation period? That's African elephant. In Roman numerals, what numerical value is represented by the letter D? 500. Which vitamin is essential for supporting vision and immunity? It's vitamin A. Who is widely credited with inventing the World Wide Web system? That's Tim Berners-Lee. Which body of water separates Saudi Arabia from the African continent? Red Sea. What is the name for the point where the x-axis and y-axis intersect? That's origin. How many players are there on a standard indoor volleyball team? 6. The Richter scale is used to measure the strength of which events? It's earthquakes. Which blood type is the most common among humans worldwide? Blood type O. Which substance is commonly referred to as the universal solvent? Correct, with water. What type of background noise is typically produced by a fan? That's white noise. What are colors like black, white, and gray collectively called? Neutral colors. What is the term for a number that cannot be written as a simple fraction? It's irrational. What is the primary chemical component found in natural gas supplies? That's methane. What process is used to convert seawater into drinkable freshwater? Desalination. What is the correct zoological term used for a baby owl? That's owlet. What is the primary function of dietary fiber in the digestive system? It's to aid in digestion. What are the first 10 amendments to the US Constitution called? It's Bill of Rights. Which HTTP error code indicates that a web page cannot be found? It's 404. Which vitamin is naturally produced by the body through sunlight? Correct, with vitamin D. Which internet protocol is primarily used to send emails between servers? That's answer B. Which is the largest muscle found within the human body? Gluteus maximus. What is the complementary color opposite to blue on the wheel? It's orange. Aerial, Georgia, impact, and veranda are all types of what? That's fonts. What is the official currency used within China? It's yuan. Which nutrient plays a key role in building and repairing muscle? That's proteins. What is the name of the largest volcano in the entire solar system? Olympus Mons. How many points is a touchdown worth in American football scoring? It's 6. What is the primary role of the small intestine in digestion? Absorb nutrients. Which gas is most commonly used during anesthesia induction procedures? Correct, with nitrous oxide. Which internal human organ has the ability to regenerate itself? That's liver. What unit of measurement is used to quantify electric current? Ampere. Marble is classified as which type of rock in geological terms? It's metamorphic. Which artist is associated with both the Blue and Rose periods? That's Pablo Picasso. Which metal is the most abundant element found in Earth's crust? Aluminum. The medical term pulmonary refers to which organ in the human body? That's lungs. What is the term for the maximum speed reached by an object falling? Terminal velocity. What is the traditional first wedding anniversary gift? It's paper. In Back to the Future, what is the name of the town where it is set? Hill Valley. What is the name of the kingdom featured in the Disney movie Frozen? Correct, with Arendelle. What is commonly used on cookware to create a non-stick surface? That's Teflon. What color is used for the letter E in the official eBay logo? Red. Which mammal is uniquely known for having a body fully covered in scales? It's pangolin. Above which IQ score is someone considered to be in the genius range? 140. Which planet in our solar system orbits closest to the Sun? That's Mercury. What is the literary term for a comparison using like or as? Simile. Who became the first emperor to unify all of China under one rule? Qin Shi Huang. Which part of a cell contains most of its genetic material? Its nucleus. Who developed the first successful vaccine to prevent smallpox? Edward Jenner. In business, what type of document is a balance sheet classified as? Correct, with financial statement. Which national team won the FIFA World Cup tournament in 2018? That's France. Which ancient Greek figure is known as the father of geometry? Euclid. How many hours of sleep are recommended for teenagers each night? 8 to 10 hours. What is the protein in blood responsible for carrying oxygen called? That's hemoglobin. Which skin layer is the most superficial and outermost layer? Epidermis. What does the acronym VPN stand for in modern internet technology? It's Virtual Private Network. Who is the author of the fantasy series The Chronicles of Narnia? C.S. Lewis. What does PSI typically measure in relation to a vehicle? Tire pressure. Which organ is primarily responsible for filtering waste from blood? That's kidneys. In medical terminology, what does the abbreviation IV stand for? Intravenous. Which character delivers the line "to be or not to be"? Hamlet. What do you call a mathematical statement that includes an equal sign? Equation. How many flat faces does a standard cube have in geometry? It's 6. What term describes colors positioned opposite each other on the color wheel? That's complementary colors. What is the term for substances that cause cancer in humans? Carcinogens. Which color is found in the center ring of the Olympic symbol? That's black. Where is the Dewey Decimal System most commonly used in practice? Public and school libraries. How many players does each soccer team have on the field at once? It's 11. Which atmospheric layer is located closest to Earth's surface level? Troposphere. The Great Red Spot is a long-lasting storm found on which planet? That's Jupiter. Which mountain range forms a border between France and Spain? Pyrenees. What is the chemical formula used to represent hydrochloric acid? HCl. Who served as the second president of the United States? It's John Adams. What is the primary function of white blood cells in the body? Fight infection. Which physical quantity refers to the amount of matter in an object? Correct with mass. Which sea lies directly to the west of the country India? That's Arabian Sea. What are the fundamental building blocks that make up proteins? Amino acids. How many teaspoons are equal to 1 standard tablespoon? It's 3. What is the official total distance of a full marathon race event? That's answer B. What is the anatomical name for the human windpipe structure? Correct with trachea. What is the primary role of platelets within human blood? That's clot blood. Which celestial object is often called the shepherd's star? Venus. Which bird species is recognized as the smallest in the entire world? It's bee hummingbird. What is the scientific process of splitting an atom's nucleus? That's nuclear fission. Which chemical element is represented by the symbol Fe? Iron. In which sport would you perform a movement known as a jackknife? That's diving. Which gemstone is the birthstone for the month of April? Diamond. Who is credited with popularizing the iconic little black dress style? Coco Chanel. What is the name of the muscle that separates chest and abdomen? Diaphragm. What is the name of the trophy awarded to NHL championship winners? The Stanley Cup. Which nutrient plays the most significant role in building muscle mass? That's protein. Which plush toy brand launched in 1993 and became a huge craze? It's Beanie Babies. Which nut is strongly associated with Hawaii? It's macadamia. How many calories are contained in 1 gram of dietary fat? That's 9. What is the highest court within the United States judicial system? Supreme Court. Which country is commonly referred to as the Great White North? That's Canada. What is the main function performed by a computer's CPU? Process instructions. Who painted the famous Renaissance mural titled The Last Supper? Leonardo da Vinci. Which major company was originally founded under the name Cadabra? Amazon. Which type of chemical bond involves sharing electron pairs? Correct, with covalent bond. Which poet is famous for writing the poem titled The Raven? That's Edgar Allan Poe. What flower is traditionally recognized as the national symbol of England? That's the rose. Which author wrote the famous dystopian novel titled 1984? It's George Orwell. In which year did the Soviet Union officially dissolve into republics? That's 1991. How many cards does each player receive in a Texas Hold'em poker game? 2. Which imaging technique relies on strong magnetic fields? That's MRI. Which mineral in toothpaste is known to strengthen tooth enamel? Fluoride. Which NBA team had a 72-10 record in the 1996 regular season? Chicago Bulls. What is the primary function of carbohydrates in the diet? Provide energy. On the periodic table, which element is represented by the symbol Ne? Correct, with neon. What is considered Japan's traditional and national sport? That's sumo wrestling. In the abbreviation MRI, what does the letter I specifically stand for? Imaging. What is the biological process of keeping eggs warm until they hatch? It's incubation. What does a Geiger counter specifically detect? That's ionizing radiation. What is the correct chemical formula used to represent carbon dioxide? CO2. What substance is added to white sugar to produce brown sugar? That's molasses. In which sport is the prestigious Heisman Trophy awarded annually? Football. What is the academic field that studies artistic principles called? Aesthetics. What is the pH value of pure water when it is completely neutral? 7. What type of energy is stored in an object because of its position? Correct, with potential energy. Which part of the brain is responsible for balance and coordination? That's cerebellum. What is the biological process by which a cell divides into 2? Mitosis. Which continent is the largest on Earth by total land area? It's Asia. How many strings does a standard acoustic or electric guitar have? That's 6. Vitamin B3 is more commonly known by which name? Niacin. Which major city is located at the entrance to the Black Sea? That's Istanbul. What is the term for artery narrowing caused by plaque buildup? Atherosclerosis. I have a bonus question for you, but don't leave just yet. If you enjoy this quiz, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. And if you really want to support the channel, then consider becoming a member. Here's the bonus question. What is the term for a female swan? The answer appears in a few seconds in the corner right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to keep watching fun quizzes, then click this one to continue. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.